Hello and welcome back to Radiant Dawn 0% Growth. We're on Chapter 1, and, well, if you've seen my other 0% Growth playthroughs, you may be familiar with how relatively trivial the early chapters usually are, and while the prologue for this game isn't trivial, it's not necessarily, like, particularly difficult. But boy, Chapter 1, you really feel the difference. This chapter is not messing around. It's actually, I mean, this chapter is actually one of the chapters that for me really illustrates what I like so much about Radiant Dawn. Like, just the general level of challenge in the game, and the sort of, the focus in the level design. But yeah, I mean, this chapter is like I said, it's no joke. So we have, it's a escape map. We have to escape through these two tiles. Only Micaiah needs to escape, but we do get bonus experience for every other unit that escapes. There is a guy with a steel sword here. The boss, I should say, has a steel sword that we would like to pick up. There's also a hand axe in a house, the house here that is guarded by this guy with the javelin. There's also a vulnerary in the house down here. We're also joined by a new unit, Nolan. So Nolan ordinarily is, one of the best core members of the Dawn Brigade. Depending on how you define the Dawn Brigade, right? Like, do you count Meg? Do you count Aaron? Do you count Fiona? Like, well, regardless of any of that, I mean, and he's there's Soth and there's Jill. And then there's Nolan, unless you want to count, like, Zahark, I guess, or Torneo or Volug. But anyway, the point is, like, of the people who are actually, like, the day-in liberation people and not just the people who kind of join with them, I'm probably trying too hard to categorize here. Nolan is, in a normal playthrough, Nolan is a good unit. He's not a great unit, but, like, he's immensely valuable, starting here up through chapter 5, I guess I would say. Starting in chapter 5, when you get Volug, he starts to be less relevant. And certainly he's going to need to put in a lot of work in this chapter. Without growths, I mean, he definitely, his stats are not exactly, like, late game viable, or his bases, I should say. I mean, unsurprisingly so for somebody who starts at tier 1. But there is still value in promoting him just because he can do work with crossbow and the beast foe skill in part 3. That being said, I don't know if a zero growths Nolan can actually do that. We'll have to see, but I have my doubts that his bases are going to be. The issue is going to be, can he, like, survive, like, any kind of counterattack whatsoever, or does he just get, like, one hit KO'd and or doubled into oblivion, such that there's no safe position for him to attack from. But that's well in the future. For now, he's definitely going to be our frontline guy. So to open this chapter up, we're going to have Edward come up here, and we're going to have Leonardo come up here as well. We're going to trade Leonardo's Herb and Draco Shield over to Edward. I don't plan to give the Draco Shield to Nolan, but I'm going to have Nolan trade for it anyway, just because it at least makes more sense to have it on him than it does to have it on Leonardo. And I'm also going to grab that Herb, so he needs it more, and then we're going to shove Edward sideways. This guy here has a Javelin, so we want to block these two guys off, but Edward cannot take hits, and besides, we want Nolan to enemy phase the Javelin guy who doesn't move in any case. Now we come to one of the more important enemy phases of the chapter. Okay, so Edward taking 12 damage from that guy is significant. Okay, Nolan did hit that Axe Fighter, so that's really good. If he misses that guy, it's a pretty big problem. Yeah, so Edward taking 12 damage from this guy means that if we only use an herb, we go up to 17. And then this guy hits us for 12, and we're down to 5 HP. And 5 is less than 30% of Edward's HP, because 30% of Edward's HP is like 5.7. And that would put him in Wrath range, and we really do not want him to activate Wrath against this guy because he'll die, because he cannot take 2 hits. Incidentally, I mean, just in terms of like the ramping of difficulty in part 1, like, look at the difference between what Edward's doing here and what he was doing last chapter. Now, granted, he did get a level. He would have gotten a level up last chapter. See, he would be a little bit better, presumably, than what he actually is. But there's no guarantee that he gets strength or speed or HP or defense, which would be the relevant stats. And he goes from taking 3 to 4 hits before he goes down and doubling enemies to not doubling enemies and dying in 2 hits. I mean, it's just a dramatic difference. Anyway, okay, so we're gonna then take this guy out with Leonardo. Leonardo, good. And then probably, yeah, so Micaiah cannot take that guy out. It's okay. Nolan, I do need you to hit this. Okay, good job. Alright, so what we are going to do is have Micaiah come up and hit this guy. And then Edward is going to use a vulnerary, because as I said, he cannot just use an herb, it's too dangerous. If that guy does 11 damage, then he can just use an herb. But that is not the situation. Alright, now, Leonardo. Finish off this guy. Up. Nolan is going to come up here and use a vulnerary again. Alright, and now, unfortunately, we can't have Edward finish this guy off, because if he does, then he's not healed, and then this guy can attack him. And I need Micaiah to be able to take a hit, which means I can't have her sacrifice. So we're going to have her take this guy out. Then we're going to move Edward forward to here and have him... Let's see, actually, let's see how much damage... Okay, 12 damage. So yeah, we don't actually mind if he Wrath crits now, though. In fact, it would be really nice if he did. So we're just going to use an herb. Nice. Let's go, Edward. Okay, so Leonardo is not capable of taking this guy out, but Micaiah, 10 attack, he's got 3 res, is. Nolan... Ooh, that is not looking great. He's gonna have to use a vulnerary again. That's annoying. Okay. Well, dang. I guess we'll have to enemy phase him. That's fine. So this is why, one of the reasons why I need Micaiah to be able to take a hit is because this archer is here. He won't attack Micaiah because she can take a hit, but if he were able to kill her, he would. All right, so now we can just have Edward finish this guy off. The alternate plan was to have him back up and use another healing item, but we don't need to do that. Wait, what? I'm really surprised that guy didn't attack Nolan. Was he gonna one-shot Micaiah? Did he roll 15's attack? No. That wouldn't have even killed anyway. Huh. Well, okay, if he had hit Micaiah, that would have potentially messed things up. Interesting. Okay. I suppose it's fine. So now, Micaiah is going to come up and attack the boss. As is Leonardo. Now, because Nolan healed when he did, he should just be able to kill the boss. Alright, and now, I think what we're gonna do... I mean, it probably doesn't matter. So basically, This guy doesn't move, and he'll attack Leonardo. This guy should attack Nolan or Micaiah or maybe Edward. It doesn't really too much matter which one. We want to get the hand axe here, but first, just gonna move Edward up and heal and see what the archer does exactly. Okay, he is gonna go for Edward. That's fine. How? Did this guy roll extra strength? 21 attack? No, I think that's what he normally has. Oops, I wanted to. Yeah, okay, I guess that's just how much he does. Okay, that's fine. So we're gonna go get the hand axe here. Unfortunately, we can't get it to Null in this chapter, nor can we get the steel sword to Edward. What can you do? Just gonna escape. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, like, these enemies, like, are no joke. Like, it's real touch and go here. But nonetheless, there's going to be 6 turns to clear Chapter 1. So thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for Chapter 2, in which we get our Jagan, sort of. So until then.